Hello everyone, my name is AP the Weird One, and welcome back to another Love It or Hate It, this time Digimon Protagonists. We'll be covering the anime seasons, also along with the manga and light novels, except for Digimon Liberator, because Liberator is not completed. We're still waiting on some level 7s and some other megas, you could say. Yeah, right, and some megas. So, we're gonna do that. So we're gonna wait on that. And also, by the time that gets finished, hopefully Digimon Beat Break will over, so we'll do those combination. Anyway, without further ado, we'll begin. I did add one new thing to this scenario. There is a very like, which will come up very soon. So I was reviewing the Digimon. I'm Evolution Lines, and I'm like, some of them I could see being loved, some I could see very like wasn't a very strong enough word for some of these evolution lines. Also, for Digimon Adventure, we're also including the 2020 version, and we're going to be using supplemental material when it applies. You'll see where, and I try to do like full evolution lines for the partners. This only really applies to Cross Wars. That's the only one I'm really a stinkler about. Everything else is good. Everything else is pretty much good. The supplemental material you'll basically see. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin. So we have Digimon Protagonist of Season 1, or Digimon Adventure. We have Tai's Agumon. Agumon's line is nice. I'm not necessarily the Greymon and Agumon are not necessarily my favorites, but I do like Skull Greymon. Metal Greymon's pretty cool. Alturas mode is a banger. War Greymon's okay. Blitz Greymon is awesome as hell. Bond of Bravery, I hate every fiber of my being. I just don't like it. But it is still a very solid line, and maybe other artworks of Bond of Bravery could make me like it. We'll see how I like it in Digimon Time Stranger. But so for that, I give it a really like it. It's a solid line. There's just I would just say one bad apple amongst them. So I think it's well deserving of a really like it. Next up is Matt's Gabumon. Matt's Gabumon is it's likable. I just don't think nothing is really. I mean, I think of the bunch, only Kurumon is my favorite of the evolutionary line from 2020. But I think he would work better with, say, into Rulumon. Everything else is just fine. Nothing that I absolutely hate. Well, Gabumon Bond of Friendship, that's another story, but that's more of a personal thing. It's more of a personal thing. I just don't like it. It's better than Bond of Bravery, but still terrible. So for that, it's a like. It's just a nice, good like. Then of course we have the Omnimons. These are all likes. Nothing. I like Omnimon Alter S of the best favorite. I really love the Next Edge figure. Everything else is just solid. I don't necessarily hate it, even if it's been overkill. It's just a nice solid like. Next up, we have Sora's Biomon. Bertramon is probably the weakest member of the bunch. Nothing. I think Garudamon's the only thing that I really absolutely love. Everything else is just kind of okay. So, and just for that, it's basically a neutral. I necessarily don't hate it, but I don't. It's nothing of a like. I'm like, all right, I can take it or leave it. Next up is Izzy's Tentomon. I remember having a Kabuterimon, became Mega Kabuterimon. I love Tentomon. He's such a cool boy. The insects are very nice, very solid. But it's just a nice like. It's nothing outstanding. There's just nothing super outstanding to it. I think if Tyrant Kabuterimon were in the bunch, maybe a love. I do really love Tyrant Kabuterimon, but that's more for Hacker's Memory. Maybe even if the X Antibody came around, could have some potential. Maybe I really like, but just I think as standard as is, it's just a like for me. Next up is Joe's Goemon. This one I might improve over the years. I don't really hate the line. I don't know. Ikakumon doesn't do anything for me. Zudomon, I think, is kind of ugly, to be honest. Plesioman and Vikemon and Gomon are really strong suits, but I kind of prefer those two to be in a different lineage rather than part of this line. So it's just another neutral for me. It's one of those I could take it or leave it. I mean, Kakumon and Zudumon are just more personal taste. Vikemon is very super cool. And Gomon and Plesioman are just badass. Pleasiomon is definitely one I've grown to really like over the years. But let's continue. Next up is Mimi's Palmon. And of course it has Panchomon in Digimon Adventure 2020. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I know this should probably be a like, but Palmon and Togemon don't do anything for me. When it comes to waifus, Rosemon and Lilymon they're alright, but they're not my top 10. They're not my top breed of waifus. And just kind of for that, I'm just kind of neutral on it. It's one of those, like, there's some good members, but then the other members I'm not a big fan of. I love Mimi as a character and everything, but she's just very neutral. And Panchomon we could have elsewhere. I think just Panchomon is not necessarily too good for this line, but it's definitely more male-oriented evolutionary line. I don't know. I can't like overly do like it. Next up is TK's Patamon. I forgot to put the animation, but yeah, and this is a love. I'm choosing Patamon. I chose Patamon for Digimon Time Stranger. Pegasusmon's the weakest bunch of the member, but everything else is super, super good. I also had a Patamon to Angemon Toy, and then also Magna Angemon to Serafimon. Goldgemon being part of this line is also badass. It's a shame that it never got a full extra antibody line. But yeah, super good line. I love the Angels. Chef's kiss. Next up is Kari's Gatomon. This is a very interesting point where I think Salmon and Megidramon are Megadramon are the weakest of the bunch. Gatomon, Angemon, Ophanimon Fallen Mode, and Nefertimon are very strong. So it's really solid. Megidramon I would probably like more if Angemon was a different ultimate, something more bestial. I just think Solomon's not as bad as Solomon X. Solomon's alright. But for this, I say I really like it. It's a good fun line. Have a good character personalities. I think the holdback is Megidramon. Next up is Maze Mekumon. This has a lot of oddball members to it that are both very strong. I love Regulamon or Daimon is amazing. Maycrackmon is super good. Mekomon, I think if Mekomon was somewhat better, maybe just the artwork or something could have been. And they also have Razilmon as well. It's got a really weird chin guard that's funky. It's a really like it. I really love this line. There's a lot of good members. Maycrack Vicious Mode, I could probably talk into liking a little bit more, but I think Mekomon and Razilmon have to just be a little bit better designed, or I have to see them in other forms of medium. I think the card arts don't do them quite as well justice or bring out their full potential. Next up is the Season 2 Protagonist Partners. This one has also some supplemental material. First up is Davis's Vmon, or Daisuke. Really good line. Paildramon is probably the weakest of the bunch for me. I much prefer the more evil variations of the Imperial Dramons, Dragon modes, and Fighter modes. They work for me a lot better. Vmon I'm coming around to. X Vmon's not bad. But I think I'm just more of a solid like it. This might grow to a really like it over time, but I think for the time being, it's got to be a like it. Next up is Wormmon, and its core supplemental material is, of course, the Jewel Beamon and Bancho Stingmon. And there's also, of course, Garen Kawagamon. Grand Kawagamon, this might be the weakest member. It's not like a bad design, and I liked it. I like it with Dino Beamon. I've seen Imperial Fighter mode become like an evolution line for Grand Kawagamon. It's sometimes munched in with the Worm mod, depending on the medium. This is another like it. This could also be seen as a really like it. I think if you count both Davis and it's together, they're really like it. But just separately, I would say like it. Next up is Yoli's Hawkmon. Yeah, and this is a really like it. Halcymon is probably the weakest. I love Sherrymon. Hawkmon's very good. Sylphiemon's pretty good. There's nothing bad. Like there's nothing great. There's nothing really bad. Really likable. But there's nothing that says I love you. So manner of speaking. But it's a really good line. I loved it in Cyber Sleuth as well. They are pretty good. I'm looking forward to having it again. Next up is Cody's Armadillomon. The armors are the weakest in my opinion. The Shakamon is a hit or miss for me. The Armadillomon, the Ankylonmon's not too bad. And slash Angelmon. If Ankylomon became Brachiomon and Ultimate Brachiomon slash Kandramon, this would be another love story. But unfortunately, it's just a like it. Actually, I might... Yeah, this should just be a like it. I think I could probably forgive the armors, but yeah, we need the Brachiomon and Ultimate Brachiomon to be at least a really like it. Slash Angemon's also very good, but yeah, just to me, it's a like it. I might label it really like it later. Anyway, moving on. We have Willis's Terriermon and Lotmon. He does have Lotmon, so it kind of makes sense to go the full evolution line. I'm not the biggest Terriermon stans, and I'm just to be perfectly honest, it's just a like. Nothing inherently bad with them, just solid, good like. Unfortunately, this does not apply to someone else, but yeah. I like individual members like Cherubimon Vice, and then of course Rapidmon Armor, but the majority of them I'm just okay. Then we have the Season 3 protagonists. And we have Takado's line is a like. Chaos Gallman probably doesn't need to be in here. I much prefer the black versions as opposed to the red versions. They're still very strong. I also kind of think they're a bit boring, and Megidramon is a bit of a... I don't stand for Megidramon. Chaos Gallman, yes. The others, no. I think if Megidramon wasn't necessarily part of this equation, I'd probably say I really like it. I just think it's a bit bland and goes on the warrior line. I'd maybe prefer it to be a little bit more dragon-based. But not Megidramon, I don't know. Megidramon X is also terrible. Next up is Henry's Terriermon. I wish this had a mode change or something like the other lines, a level 7 version or anything. X antibody maybe. I think this line is just so boring. I just dislike it. I don't hate it. I just think it's very inherently boring. This thing is just a solid wall. It's not very mobile. I don't know. It's a stiff brick. And also in the Cyber Sleuth games, I wasn't very over impressed with them either. Next up is Rika's Renamon. I'm also including Makomon for reasons. Renamon, I like the design, and these are solid designs, but I just like their purple versions. I'm not the biggest Renamon line stan. I'm like, okay, yeah, I get it. For me, it's just kind of neutral. I don't hate it. I really love the purple versions. There are Kuzahamon's line variation better, Duomon, and the other version of this, the Cubimon. Susie's Lotmon. Weakest part is the Jogamon, which is going to become later, presumably. If we're not counting that, probably Terulimon. I don't know. Terulimon's alright. This is just a solid like. Nothing terrible about it. I just like it. It's got some cute members. It's fun. I love the antibody version of the Virtue. But just a nice like. Next up is Rio Cyberdramon. Very strong line. Wish it kept it still a little bit more dragon. It these lines are very kind of just safe bets, which is why I think for all like if I can't like give anything to a like beyond I really like it. Yeah, I just stick with like. If they were a little bit more crazier, went more bestial maybe, or played it a different way, I'd probably go with more. Cybertron is probably the only one I would say gets the overall super pass. The other ones, I think Gallantmon could have been designed a little bit better. Moving on is to Ayamako's Impmon. Everybody loves Beelzemon. And Impmon's nice. I'm not the biggest fan of Beelzemon. I really don't care for him. Ballmon's alright. Wizardmon, I prefer Flame Sorcerymon, Flame Wizardmon for this. This is just a neutral. I could take it or leave it. Yeah, I'm like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of either of this evolution line. Probably Impmon's just is the favorite of the bunch. But yeah, I don't know. I don't hate it. I think it's one of those like, oh, everybody loves it, so no. And then you have Kazu's Gardevoir, which has become her Greymon. Hyandramon, I love Hyandramon, although I really wish its Tonfa Blades were used more in combat. It's just a like. It's a nice cyborg. We can deal with those. Now we move on to Season 4. Antagonist. The hybrids, which is a bit controversial season. We have the Agunimon line, and this is a line that has definitely grown on me over the years. I like individual parts of it, but it's only been until recently that I've really understood it and see what makes it, like why it's the way it is. And yeah, it's a love. I love this evolution line. Flamemon doesn't get enough attention, being super good. Ultimon has grown on me, but now that I kind of see that it's kind of like a homage to say maybe like Hellboy or similar beings, I think it makes it the liking, it makes it a lot more sense and a lot more love. Also, Ancient Greymon, he's a 4-legged dragon. We gotta commend him for that. Next up is Lobomon, and he's just a wolfy boy. Very strong line. Really good members. I could have said this to be a love, but I'm just going to say really like it. I don't know. Maybe over time, I think it's just maybe a little bit of the plainish vibe, but it's still very good. It's a really like it. I like the potentials. I think the last half is really very good. I don't know what I would do to make it better. This one, maybe the Magna Gurumon has to change. That may be the only thing that's a little out of whack. Moving on, we have Kumamon. Individually, very good. Together, I dislike. It's a fart and a win for me. It's just an ugly line. Like Kumamon to Korikakumon, it's not bad. Then Daipenmon gets in the way. I'm like, oh no, why you to be there? And then Ancient Mithurimon is alright. Next up is Kazimon, the Kazimon line. Very cute and adorable. If Kazimon was, I don't know, Kazimon's probably the weakest part, which is really strange. Everything else is very lovely and sexy, but it just gets a like for me. Next up is the Beetlmon line. I'm also not going to include the rest of the Legendary Ancient Warriors. This is one where Rhino Kabuterimon is the weakest member. I think if he had been swapped around with Metal or Borgmon or Metal Beetlemon, Metal Kabuterimon, maybe I would go for it better. But as it kind of stands, it's just a like. I like, even though I don't really like Rhino Kabuterimon, it's still a very solid design. Maybe the headpiece could have been changed up a bit better. Maybe that's what my overall, because you can't really see if it has like an eyes or not. Next up is Loyamon. Now, aside from Ancient Sphinxmon, everything else is a solid dandy. I also included Sonomon in here. But this is a very good line. This, if Ancient Sphinxmon was different, This would beat Ancient Greymon like a heartbeat, but as it stands, it's just a really like. The first three good, then you get to the Sphinx and you're like, I wish you were better. If it could transform into like a robot or cyborg or something, man, we could be talking. Moving on, we have the season 5 protagonists. Monster Heroes Agumon, I just absolutely love. Well, also, we're going to include next as well because it's the same evolution line, just adds the Victory Greymon. This is one because of Cyber Sleuth has grown on me, and also watching the anime. I think the stupidest part about this line is maybe Shine Greymon's knees. If they just, I don't know, if they weren't there or maybe a wee bit shorter, I think it would go dandy. Like the real ones understood it, but everything else is like. Also, from this angle, Rise Greymon's can's like a little too extra big, but it's a really good line. And Shine Greymon is nothing to sneeze at. He's also very powerful and menacing. Thomas's Galmon. This would be in a different category had I not watched Savers. Because of Savers, I have a lot better opinion of it, but it's only thanks to Savers that a neutral can be in place. I think Z Garurumon feels out of place in this line, personally. So, kind of for those reasons, I can't really rank it too high. I know people love this line, and I'm not gonna. And if I had not watched Savers, this would probably be in the hate category. But Thomas Norstein, he saved this line. I think if I would really love to see a black versions of this. Black version would probably change my mind. Z Garurumon, maybe not so, even if it was black. Black would still be cool, but it wouldn't work for these bad boys. Next up is Yoshino's Lalamon. Its original Mega is supposed to be Lotusmon. The only reason this is I also hate the fact that Rosemon is Mega and Savers. This would be a hate if it not been the fact that the Sunflowmon, Lilamon, and all these guys are actually dope in Cyber Sleuth. We'll see what they do in Digimon Time Stranger. But I really like Lilamon. Lilamon is just way too good. If Lilamon had been part of maybe the Togemon line, maybe we could have been talking a little bit better, but no. Next up is Keenan's Falcomon. I have a lot of these. I'm like to start on neutral. I get the motif. I don't like anything about these Falcomons, especially with the other Falcomon line. Regular Falcomon, Diatrimon, other Yatagramon or Chromon is just way better. Ravemon and Ravemon Burst Mode are the killers. There's nothing that would say I necessarily hate the line. I'm just I think the purple's a little bit overkill for me. But moving on, we have Rentaros. This is Commander's Kudamon. I don't like this Kudamon. These are I'm just neutral. I don't know. I think Quinlanmon is really strong and belongs elsewhere, but where I don't know. Kantarosmon or Sleepmon is alright. He'd probably be the next best thing. Original Kudamon and maybe something different to replace Repamon might get this into a really like, or at least a like. I wouldn't be 100% sure, but yeah, I'm not offended by it. This is the old commanders or the true commanders, Oroshi's Kamimon. I've grown on it. This line has definitely grown on me, and I'm excited to use them. Cyber Sleuth, Time Stranger. I would say the Guapamon is the weakest, but not. I think this is because of his hairdo and maybe face, but really still a very fun line. Jumbo Gameon has definitely grown on me. But yeah, it's a really like. I dig this line. It's very fun. A lot of character. It deserves a really like. Megumi's, this is one of the Ponchesmons. These are okay. The Bishop is really good. So is the Knight. Everything, or I guess the first three are okay. The King I wish was better designed. If the King was better, I think this could be a real like. I don't think absolute love, but kind of for that, I'm more neutral. I know one member kind of changes up. It's like, You don't flow that well. I wish you were more impressive looking. Next up is Miki's Chessmon. She's got the black version. Queen Chessmon is... I wish her hammer is a little bit different, but everything else is very good. However, I'm just kind of very likey. I don't hate it, but it's just, they're okay, I guess. That's the way I'm trying to phrase it. I don't know. It's just a like. Moving on, we have the season 6 protagonists. These are, of course, the Cross Wars. This is super controversial season. I did the best for full evolution line, what makes sense. There's good members of these. There's really good members, but I'm overall I just like it. Maybe this could go up or notch. Time will tell. Next up is Kiria's Greymon. If Z Greymon was not in this equation, oh boy, would this be a lot higher. This would probably be borderline love. However, Zeke's design just kills it for me. It's just a like. Maybe there's something else that would need to change as well, but I hate this golden boy. It drags for me. Next up is Nene's Darkmon. Sparrowmon just doesn't really count. I didn't include all the form changes because there's a lot, but I love the Dark Knight Mylon, and you know how I feel about it. I wish Darkness Bogramon Night Mode was an actual card. I love this line. No ifs, ands, or buts. The others we can't include because we don't have the best flavor line. I could probably do Durulumon. There is some source material for him, but we'll take it as is. Oh, we also have Tigeru's Gumdramon. Wish he had a Mega. This is still a very good evolutionary line, but it's a good solid like. Maybe a proper Mega would do something for me. I would thought maybe in the Cross Wars Digivices they would include. Maybe they would give him Mega, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Moving on, we have season 7. This is Atmon. Atmons are still, we dig the Atmons. We stand by them. We have Gachmon. Solid, nothing out too impressive. Dot Gachmon and then Globemon are good. It's just a like. Nice, good blend of colors, good design. Maybe Gaiamon would need a little bit of a change. Next up, we have Tojiro's Musaemon. This one's growing on me. I'm gonna be perfectly honest. It's the ultimate stage. I think I have the biggest beef with. If that were a bit different, I think I would be a little bit better. I think this is Mediamon and then Entertainmon Entertainmon's something different, but it's just I really like it. Runasmon is just solid. It's a fun evolution line. I can appreciate it. Next up is Aries Dokumon. I don't like anything of this, but it's not to a point of hatred, but it's a dislike for me. I don't like anything of this line. Maybe Poseimon's the strongest, but no. Next up is Ray's Hackmon. Despite how I feel about Hadesmon, this evolution line is cracked as hell. And for that, I'm going to give it all a really like. Maybe when I see this thing in the card game, they'll do something with it. And because the design is good, it just needs a different blend of colors. Next up is Hajime's Onmon. So the thing with him, in the video games, you use Onmon, and then the anime has the other character. But you also have the Traders line, and they kind of fuse together to form Rebootmon. So that's why I'm including both of them. I think if the other half was not included, I'd probably give this a really like, but I think as is, I think it's just a like it. I think also Bootmon, I think, is this one. I think he's got a little bit of issues, but yeah, it's just a nice like. Now we move on to 8, and that is of course Ghost Game. We love our Ghost Camp, don't we? This is a no-brainer. See my top 2 evolution lines? This is a love. There needs no me explanation. The only thing that needs to change about Arcturusmon is to give him some more offensive abilities. He needs something behind those drills. Other than that, it's good. Kishiro's Jellymon. This is a mixed bag. It's a nice solid waifu, but I wish it ended better for me. I know people love Amphimon, but I'm not one of these. But I'm just neutral on it. It makes sense to be neutral for me. Then we have the Ruli's Angoramon. I've collected all these cards. I really like it. Angoramon is the weakest member. Everything else is just beautiful. And then we move on to and I love Lemormon. Lemormon's best boy. Next up, we have the Digimon protagonists of manga/novels. The main ones, at least. We have Tai's Vidramon. I love O-Force Vidramon. It's a love it. I also love the versions of Vidramon and Arrow Vidramon. I wish the manga was out here in the US. I'd be buying it. I love it. Next up is the Seekers and Chronicles Dorumon. We got the both lineages. I love Alphamon, and despite Dorumon being what it is, it's a love. We love it. No questions asked. That being said, Ryudomon. I think this is a dislike for me. I don't know. Ryudomon is the strong point. Everything else is just yeah, it's a dislike. I can't be neutral on this. These things are just too goofy looking. I don't know. I can't. I don't mesh with it. Right, Major? Right. Next up is Satsuki's Numemon. We don't have a rookie, but then again, Numemons don't have rookies. I'm just neutral on it. I don't necessarily hate anything about it. It doesn't really offend me, but it's... I'm not a snail person. Next up is Leon's Pulsemon. Pulsemon line is hit or miss from... not kind of a lot of hit, just nothing exciting. But, the standard line of Bulkmon, Boutmon, and then Kazuichimon, it's solid. It's a like. I like this line. And then we have Eiji's Lugamon. I wish something about this line needs to be better. I don't know which. Lugamon, yes. Everything else, I don't know. Hell Lugamon, I think, is underrated as hell. This could be a boost, and this could be a boost for me. But I think as it stands, it's a really like. I think if Lugamon, if Friendly Lugamon was something better about it, I think this would easily be in the top 10 favorite evolution lines. And I think as of that, it is. I think we're done. Yeah, with that, we are done. So, hopefully you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you guys next time for more Love It or Hate It. I think the next one's got to be some Pokemon business. But yeah, with that, I'll catch you guys next time. Have a wonderful day. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.